Someone lock us in a padded room, because we're getting rowdy and shouty this episode, and frankly, we could use the rest. In this meaty bagel bite, graciously brought to you by Big Weather, we're facing down our personal bath mat cleaning battles, telling tales of semi-heroic dogs and somewhat missing children, and asking the hard questions when it comes to the race relations of Finland. Come get lost in this Playmobil dollhouse of episodes, where we'll keep you entertained for so long that people just may start to worry.
They said that we'd grow out of it. Well, the joke's on them, that's just our brains. We're eccentric, loud, and stubborn, and most of our clothing is covered in stains. It's not a deficit of attention, there's just too much to think about. So if executive dysfunction becomes a little too much, if you forgot why you came in this room, or you're hypersensitive to touch, then put on your seamless socks and come join our little flock. Bitches stimming together, we're weirds of a feather. Weirds of a feather. Ah! Caw-caw! Are you picking up on breath sounds?
I don't know. Probably. Yeah, definitely. If you're making them, I'm picking up on them.
All right. Well, hopefully this sounds better. This is our first episode with all the padding.
Yeah, we just added padding to our pod loft.
For the sound.
It's a padded room.
Padded room.
I'm in the padded room.
Padded room.
And that was called Padded Room.
Yeah. I feel like we made up more lyrics at first, but I guess we just didn't. We just had the same lyrics.
Yeah, I guess it's just us saying Padded Room.
Singing the same lyric over and over again. Thinking that it's different, but it's not.
Well, it's just us saying different things about the padded room.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to be in the padded room.
Padded room.
Lock me in the padded room.
Padded room.
Yeah, it's just us saying that.
All right.
Yeah. And with that,
welcome.
Shall we get into it?
Yeah, let's do it. Welcome to Weirds of a Feather, an ADHD-Adjacent podcast. I'm your host, Kristen.
And I'm your host, Grace.
And we got a little bagel bite.
This is a bagel bite.
I hope.
Please, God.
Or whatever deity you may or may not believe in.
Yes.
That your mouth is just somewhat full, but not too full.
Yeah.
Because we have a bagel bite today.
God, that was drawn out. But it was worth it.
So worth it.
Yeah, just like Kristen succinctly said, we hope that you are hungry, but not too hungry, because we got a little bagel bite for you.
A little taster.
Little nibble.
An aperitif for your enjoyment.
If you will.
Mm-hmm.
And like always, as these bagel bites tend to be, we're going to have a bit of a schmorg of just kind of like a few different random things that we want to talk about.
Couple rando things. Could not be more random.
All over the board.
Yep.
But it'll all come together in a beautiful display of words.
Hopefully.
Yeah. And you'll like it. So with that, let's get started.
Yeah, let's get started.
All right. So Kristen, today, in lieu of a warm-up question, I have a warm-up question correction.
Oh, okay.
From our listener and friend, Enya.
Enya.
From Down Under.
At Kangaroo Island.
I really biffed it when it came to talking about extreme weather.
Oh, wait, how could you biff it?
I biffed it.
You biffed it?
Yeah. Is that right? That's an expression that you know?
I get the gist of it, but I only know biff as in that like mean guy from Back to the Future.
Oh, I thought it's from one of those old bullshit books that we had to read in high school.
Biffed it.
Yeah, there's a character named Biff. I wonder if it's a Seinfeld thing where they say biffed it, because Jerry calls George Biff, as in this character.
Isn't that the evil brother from?
It's from like Death of a Salesman or some one of those bullshit. I feel like there's a whole category of old plays or books written by white men that we're all forced to read in high school.
Oh, yeah.
It's from one of those. Someone tell me. Please tell me. So
or is it the brother from Back to the Future? Someone's screaming at us right now.
I know. And speaking of someone screaming at us, Enya last week was screaming at us as she was listening to us talk about extreme weather. So I jumbled it up, I guess I should say. We don't have time to get stuck on...
Mixaroo.
Biff, yes. So Enya says, I was screaming within 10 seconds of your extreme weather question, you dirty nucksucker. This is from the episode A Good Old-Fashioned Nucksuck, by the way.
If you couldn't tell.
Hence the reference, yeah. She said, yes, I feel truly alive during energetic or wild weather events. Okay, and I think that essentially is what I was asking you. She put it so succinctly, and it was so hard for us to get there. But that's what I was asking.
Big weather events.
Yes, and I should have said, are you excited when there is, big weather going on, not, removed? I'm still making it more complicated than it needs to be. Enya said it perfectly.
I think I also made it
I think it was both of us.
More complicated.
We just get so stuck on the details and the explanations and,
it's not a simple question.
It never is with us. But for Enya, I guess it was, and she was, screaming in her home. So she said, yes, I feel truly alive during energetic or wild weather events. So she's subtly correcting me there. But I lost my mind over your definition of extreme, because meteorology/climate is a special interest of mine. You guys got there in the end, but it was a fucking ride, sis. And I appreciate someone calling me out like this. This is all I want. Please tell me if I'm wrong about something.
Oh, that's funny.
And yes, it was a ride.
It was a ride, yeah. It was 20 minutes talking about big weather.
Yeah. Yeah, big weather. Not extreme weather, big weather. She said, and I literally just gave a lecture on how various disciplines define extreme events, why inconsistencies create confusion in communicating climate science to the general public, and how anthropogenic values are imposed upon natural system processes. Enya, these are so many big words, dude.
She's very smart.
You're so smart. Causing imbalanced social and environmental efforts in climate change mitigation and adaptation. So I really touched upon something here with Enya. You can tell that it was you just unlocked this.
To the extreme. Oh, she's losing her mind.
I know, I would too. I'd be screaming at my phone, having to hear someone mis-explain Yellow Jackets.
Yeah.
It would be the same. I would get upset. So there were antecedent conditions at play in my response to your conversation. Say what you will about warm-up questions, they get results. And then I asked her for her definition of, okay, so what is extreme weather? Again, she gave me a whole very scientific explanation that I don't know if it would be helpful for the general public to hear part of this, but I will read other parts of it.
Just summarize it.
Remember your audience, dude. I was calling thunderstorms extreme weather, okay? So remember who you're talking to. Maybe dumb it down a little bit for us next time, but okay. So she said, extreme events are defined as intense, rare, and severe. In reality, there is no consensus on the definition across disciplines, countries, organizations, governing bodies, etc. It is political climate wars, decision-making and management, snowstorms. All right, so... Oh, and so she ends it with, again, literally no one would care about this, but it's one that gets me because climate deniers pick and choose certain observations to spread misinformation. So I can totally see why this is such a passion of hers, So, and how it does have real effects on how we talk about weather, which I can totally see also leading to having more stuff to use for climate denial. So
we in America have congressmen who think that windmills will take away the wind. So
eating up all that wind.
I totally get it, Enya.
And solar panels, right?
They'll take away the sun.
Oh, yeah,
use up all that sun. All that sun. Can't use them.
Yep.
Don't want to have the sun go away forever.
Yep, it sucked it right up.
Yep.
So that's what's going on.
I understand why language is important now when it comes to big weather.
Yes, when it comes to extreme weather, and I feel like I guess I should have thought more about how extreme weather is not just extreme, but it's a categorization. That's what it is.
But I appreciate this is very helpful now.
Right?
Yeah, this was great. Thank you, Enya, for sharing.
And that's what's fun about this podcast and all the different random topics we talk about that are never scheduled or like,
Yeah,
you know?
it's good to learn something.
Yeah, it's nice because you never know who's like hyper-focus or special interest you'll touch upon, and then they have like a whole bunch of info to share with us, and isn't that nice?
Yeah.
And we all just learned something.
We did.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Enya. This is very sweet.
Yes, thank you, Enya. I appreciate it. All right, so now, we didn't even do a little plishes.
Oh, shoot.
Didn't even write out little plishes, but we can just come up with them.
Yeah, we got to come up with the little plishes. We can do it right now.
Okay.
Off the top of my head. Want to do the song?
Oh, yeah.
We got to do the song.
Oh,
it's out of order, folks, but this is part of the Bagel Bite. But I think it's important that we do the little plish.
There is no order. Also, I just did that in lieu of a warm-up question, so I think we're right on sketch.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Right?
Yeah.
Because we always introduce the podcast first.
That's right.
Now.
We do the warm-up question, and then I see.
We're right back on track. Look at that.
We planned it.
Corrected course on our horse train, and we're right where we need to be.
There we go.
Barreling down the tracks.
Here we are.
Let's do that song.
Little plishes.
It will never stop making me laugh that we call that a song. Once again, it's just us saying something.
It's definitely a song. It's got a melody.
Yeah, it's there.
It's got some sort of tone.
Yeah, it's something we chant, sing it together.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a little chant.
Yeah.
Like a softball cheer.
Little plishes.
Little plishes. It's a little commercial jingle, really.
A jingle is a
jingle.
Good descriptor.
Yeah.
All about language today.
I know.
And importances of words.
I know. I feel like I say so many things on here. I feel like I say a lot of things just on here, but also in general in life, where like I know what I mean in my mind, and I'm really bad at conveying exactly what I mean. And oftentimes I'm like, they know what I mean. But like sometimes it's just like straight up wrong, or it's like people don't know what I mean.
I think you're very good with your words.
Thank you.
I think you're a verbose person, and I think that's I don't know. I think you're good with words.
Thank you. But I think sometimes I just say things assuming people will have all the context, but it's like they don't, you know? All right. Kristen, God, let's get going. Tell me about that little plish.
Little plish. I washed my bath mats.
Woohoo!
Woo!
All right.
The little,
that's a good
like
plish.
You step out of the shower and you walk on your little bath mat.
Yeah, like a bath mat.
Usually I just like get the really cheap ones, and if I wait till they're like really dirty and throw them away.
Oh, what?
I know.
You just throw them away?
Well, because they like get like in college, you're like moving, and
yeah.
And I guess in grad school I moved a lot. And then I don't know if I ever washed my bath mat when I lived out west.
Oh.
Kind of gross.
You were there for 2 years.
I know. It's gross. And then I realized I've been there at my house for a very long time, and I've never washed my bath mats, so.
I feel like if you don't get into the habit of like thinking, oh, I need to wash this thing, you just like never think to do it.
Yeah, it's like one of those, because it's just like on the floor, and then I just like totally forget to do it, and then
it's self-cleaning. It gets wet all the time.
Right. No, they were really gross, and so now they're better. Yay! And I feel better about it because I didn't just go buy a new thing, because I'm trying to be more sustainable.
Yes. Of not just throwing your bath mat away when it gets dirty.
So sometimes I get really frustrated, and I'm like, this is too much of a thing to clean.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be better just to buy a new one? And I know.
Is it that much of a thing to clean? Just put it in the washing machine.
I know. That's the thing. It's so stupidly simple. But there's certain things, like your weighted blanket, that was a whole to-do, right?
Yeah, but that was 30 pounds.
That was 30 pounds, yeah. But that's why this is a little push, so I did it. And I'm proud of myself.
You know what? Everyone has their own battles to face.
You know, sometimes it would be easier to buy a new thing.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Congratulations. It's a big accomplishment. Little accomplishment.
It's a little accomplishment. It's a little push.
Little push.
Grace.
Yes?
What's your little push?
I suddenly, on a random whim yesterday, I just like deleted a bunch of emails.
Holy shit.
Not all of them. That's why it's a little push. But I deleted like a good chunk of them, like 10,000. I still have like
10,000.
I still have like 10,000 more.
10,000.
Yeah.
Are these unread emails or read emails?
It's a combo of both. It's everything. It's all that bullshit, junk shit that comes into my inbox. And I unsubscribed to a lot of things before I deleted them. So, like, a lot of big things that take up a bunch of space.
Good for you.
Thank you. And I made little labels to, like, label my emails so I don't lose them so much. Which hopefully I'll use the labels, but that's what I do for Tracy's inbox is I made this whole little system and I use little labels to, like, put them in labels, and I actually use them, so hoping it carries over.
Yeah.
And I did it for our WOF inbox as well. I deleted some emails. I made little tabbies.
I saw the tabs.
Right?
I was confused. I was like, who organized this?
It was me.
Why does it look so nice?
I'm actually pretty decent at making systems. Well, it depends. But I'm usually good at making systems. It's just the follow-through that is lacking severely. But I believe in myself, and I think I can do it.
I think you're going to do I know it.
I think I'm going to shine.
So you're going to do it for at least a month.
All right.
And that's enough.
Now I'm feeling a little stressed about it. I feel like it's a lot of pressure.
Feel like it.
I don't think I'm going to do it.
Feel in my soul. We're going to check in a month.
All right. We'll check in a month. But now I'm feeling a lot of pressure.
We should do...
Tell me I can't do it. Tell me I won't.
I know you won't be able to do it.
Fuck you. I'm going to do it.
I know you're going to do it for like 2 days and then you're not going to do it ever again.
No, I don't need that because that's accurate.
Well,
that's not a challenge.
Okay.
That's just accurate.
I
need you to tell me there's no way I can do it.
There's no way you can even start.
There you go. I'll show you.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. That's what I need.
Okay.
And speaking of that, in the future,
here for you.
we're going to do a PDA episode about PDA autism.
We should also do, this doesn't have to be in the thing, but we should do like neurospicy challenges like for the month. Being like everybody has to, not everybody, but like the challenge of the month is to fold your laundry and put it away the same day you wash it or something like that.
Or lay your clothes out for yourself
for the next day.
That's a good
At
one.
least
That's
like 3 times a month or something like that.
Yeah.
We could do ADHD challenges.
All right. That's a good idea.
And then we can check in with each other, but also check in with the fan. We could do it on Facebook, the Facebook group.
But also, we talk about doing stuff like this all the time, and then we just don't. And we don't follow through. So
our follow through is terrible.
Yeah.
But I think that would be. I love a good challenge.
In theory, it sounds fun.
Yeah. Something to keep on our radar.
Yeah.
Hope we do it one day.
I hope we do too. That would be nice if we did that.
We just had a holiday here in America.
Is this
I was trying to
non-sequitur?
transition, but
okay,
seamlessly, but
a little clunky. Well, that's okay.
I thought it was pretty good. No,
that's fine. We're here now.
You called it clunky. I'm offended.
Clunky. Well, maybe I don't know. Did you have a good transition word in there? You know, like how in Pitch Perfect, where it's like they do the song challenge, where you have to like jump in on someone's word and like start singing a new song using that word.
I've never seen the movie.
You've never seen it. I forget my audience sometimes.
It's not a movie for me.
Listeners out there, you know what I'm talking about.
No, I have not seen the movie.
All right, anyway.
Should I see the movie?
Nah, it's fine.
I feel like I already know the movie without watching it.
I feel like you got the gist of it.
Right, without even, just the commercials alone. I'm like, all right, they sing, there's a competition, there's some sort of strife and struggle, there's a romantic interest, they win.
We laugh at a fat
person. And
classic.
And in the end, the romantic love interest is collected.
It has been achieved.
Right? Am I not wrong?
Spoiler alert, but yeah, no, you're correct.
That's exactly. I hate. Sometimes it's hard to watch commercials because you're like, well, I've just seen the whole movie.
That's what Ian says every single time we watch a preview. He said, I feel like I just watched the whole movie. So now it's become a joke where I say that after every single preview. I feel like I just saw the whole thing.
It totally depends, because some previews, they don't give you enough. It's just like a bunch of like
vague bullshit.
Pieces of scenery, and you're like, what? And then other spoilers, you're like, well, I'm okay. I think it depends on the movie, but.
And with that, let's get back on track.
Okay.
4th of July. And how it's a bullshit holiday. Yeah, there you go. That'll pull us back in. 4th of July sucks. America is nothing to celebrate right now because we're like oppressing the rights of lots of people. And we always have. You know, that's what we're founded on is like genocide and slavery and misogyny and keeping women as property and
people as property.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yep. And smallpox blankets,
Yeah.
wigs. The founding fathers owned slaves, so there's that.
There is that.
Happy 4th of July.
Yeah. I think it was, I think there's a lot of things going on with Florida, and we don't have to get into it, but I hope everybody in Florida is doing okay and is safe.
Yes.
Especially those of the LGBTQ.
LGBT.
This is so difficult
I know.
for me, and I'm so mad at myself. It's like one of the things
dyslexia.
I really, really wish I could do well.
It's such a little thing.
It drives me nuts.
My mom does the same exact thing.
I
She
feel
cannot
like such a
get an
boomer
acronym.
every time well, this alphabet's out of order. I feel like the most dyslexic person in the world every time I try to say this. L, G, B, T, QIA plus.
There you go.
I can do if I go slow, I got it.
You got it.
Okay.
All right.
Of that community, I hope you guys are all safe. Florida's kind of turning into they also have snails there that are eating everything. Have you heard
those
of
invasive African
huge
snails?
snails that are just eating all of the crops.
Yeah, on top of on top of the trans genocide, there's also big
it's
snails.
A literal plague. It's it's biblical almost,
It's almost like God is smiting you for being a fascist nation, and maybe you should stop. But we don't have time to get into this now. We don't have time for that.
But yeah, 4th of July, I just worked. I didn't celebrate. And then I hid with Snickers from the fireworks under the covers. So
sad.
We're in it together.
Yeah. Just two cats hiding from the
It's better
world.
in Maine than it is in Washington State, because there are no rules in Washington about fireworks, which is probably why they have so many forest fires. But they you can light them off from your back porch in a residential area.
That's insane.
It's
should not be trusting people with
It
that.
is insane. There's fireworks everywhere. But how was your 4th of July?
I was gonna say, I didn't specifically celebrate the 4th of July, but I have a cute little story from the 4th of July weekend up
I'd
at
love
camp.
A cute little story.
It is a cute little story with a happy ending. So Ian and I went up to my camp for the weekend. Our camp on
You have to explain what a camp is.
a lake house. It's just a cabin on a lake.
But in Maine,
we call it camp when we say we're going up to camp.
Lake house implies that it's fancy.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I feel like lake house implies front lawn.
Camp is not fancy.
Yes, camp is wooden. Camp is plaid. Camp is cozy. Camp is a little tacky.
Tacky.
It's a little kitschy.
Kitschy.
Camp is kitschy, is the way to describe it.
Right. Mainers will know.
Yes. The rest of you.
You can write us in if you have any further questions.
Yes, about what camp is.
It's not like a girls' camp
and
or
it's not
a summer
tents.
camp.
Yeah.
It's
just camp.
It's a lake house, but not as fancy.
Yes, lake house, but not what you're picturing.
Yeah.
More woodsy.
It's not Connecticut lake house.
No,
it's Maine
this is
camp.
Maine woods.
Yeah, it's Maine camp.
We had an outhouse up until, 10 years ago. Which is actually pretty good for a camp.
Yeah, that is actually nice for a camp.
I know. We have a shower.
You got Wi-Fi?
We don't have Wi-Fi.
Oh, damn it.
We have to go to the little library in town.
I thought last time I was there you had Wi-Fi.
No, I think that was the neighbors.
Oh.
But anyways, Ian and I went up to camp, and it was a really kind of crappy, rainy weekend. And so we were just worried it would be not very eventful. But on Saturday, our neighbor's little dog, Bernie, he ran away. He was a little, I think he's a Jack Russell Terrier.
Bernie?
He's 11 years old. He has cataracts in one eye.
Aww.
He's a city dog. These people come up from Boston.
He's never seen a tree before.
Yeah, he's scared out of his mind.
What is this, a pine needle?
But he's not used to being out in nature, and he's never run away before or anything. And so they were just out by the campfire, and they don't know if it was a firework or a dog barking that scared Bernie, but all of a sudden he just took off into the woods.
Oh shit.
At night.
Bernie.
And it's he
can't even see.
I know.
How'd he get in there?
He doesn't know what he's doing.
Bernie.
He doesn't know trees.
Come on.
And so, they were searching for him for hours that night, and then we heard them screaming for him, and then we all started looking for him, and there's a little circle road of a few camps on there that like everyone was banding together.
The whole neighborhood involved.
Yeah, so we were all coming together and looking for this little dog. And this poor woman, Val, the woman whose dog it was, she was like sobbing and she was so upset. And it was like really upsetting, you know, this little guy out in the woods. And there are wild animals out there, you know. And so we spent like hours looking for him that night. They continued to look for him. They have like 2 little kids and everything. And they were all so upset. Didn't find him. We all go to bed and we're like, I mean, he's probably, you know, it's like it rained all night that night and it was like downpouring.
Like downpouring.
Yep. Yeah. Then Sunday we woke up. It was downpouring Sunday. We went out and we looked for him more and it was just like raining. I've never seen so much rain up there. It was like, and then we didn't find him again. All Sunday night, it was torrential downpour.
Poor thing.
And at that point, we're all like, no one wanted to say it, but it's like 2 nights out alone in the woods for this little old man dog with cataracts. Like, there's no way that dog is still alive. I don't know if he got like stuck under something. So, you know, and this poor Val and her husband, they were just like devastated. So Monday, Ian and I are packing up the car to go home. And it was kind of like a somber mood because all of us in the neighborhood have been looking for this little dog. And it's like, he's probably dead. So we're about to go home. Val comes bombing past us in the golf cart. And she goes, neighbor has him. And we were like, what?
Neighbor has him.
Yeah. And so my mom and I like run after the golf cart and we run down the way. And we get there. And the guy who lived there had found Bernie. He found the dog. He just had looked next to him, and this fucking dog was jumping off of their dock and swimming, and he was just like jumping into the water and having fun, like swimming around, totally unaware that we had all been looking for him for 2 days. It was like devastating. This poor woman didn't sleep the whole weekend. And so she like goes, so the guy scooped him up and, you know, Val gets there and she's crying and she can't believe it. This little asshole dog is just trying to scramble out of her arms and get back in the water. All he wants to do is just continue jumping off the dock.
It's like, have you guys jumped off this dock before? It's like pretty great.
Yeah, he's just like down playing by himself. No idea. Like we all looked down there. And, you know, she was like, my husband Ed was down here earlier having a good cry because he was like, so, you know, Bernie, where are you? He was like down there crying. So I don't know if Bernie was like, we looked under the dock. We looked like in the shed. So we don't know where the fuck Bernie was for 2 whole nights out by himself in torrential downpour.
Are we sure it's Bernie and not like
a replacement?
A replacement dog? Like someone else has Bernie and they replaced it with like a different Bernie-esque dog.
A more energetic dog?
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Bernie. She was like, he loves the water and he always does this like when we're swimming is he just wants to keep jumping and jumping and jumping into the water. And I felt so bad. She was like holding him and crying and he was just like scrambling to get away.
Sometimes I wish I was a dog.
Right?
He just like...
You simple motherfucker. She was about to bring in bloodhounds.
Was she really?
She was, yeah. She had, you know, she had made all these posters. We had posted all over like Facebook and she was hanging up ads and she was literally she had like a phone call scheduled with these people who like bring in their bloodhounds to search for missing animals or people. She was like, I was literally about to call in the bloodhounds looking for this dog.
He's just on the dock.
He's just totally oblivious, having a little time by himself, just taking himself for a little swim. So everything ended well. Bernie is okay. Bernie is safe. He's alive.
And he's having the time of his life.
And he doesn't even know the trauma he just went through.
Yeah. I guess that's like the best because he's not even upset. You know?
He hadn't eaten in 2.5 days. Like
he's like, I'm getting a little hungry, man. Should probably stop swimming.
All this playing is really wearing me out. And meanwhile, the family is like devastated, not sleeping. So it all ended well, and the story is only fun to tell because Bernie came home safe and sound, and it was just such a ultimate dog thing to do, where you're just so unaware of the human emotions going on, and you're just like, right. And in that way, I really respect dogs. I'm glad that they get to live in their own special little bubble.
I did that when I was a little kid. I don't know if we have time for this story.
I mean, it's a bagel bite, so we can kind of just make it whatever. We're definitely over time already.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think you should tell it anyways, because I know what you're going to say, and it's delightful.
What I was little, like, I don't know, 4, I'd go over to my neighbor's house, Stephanie, and she bought, remember the Playmobil Victorian dollhouse?
Yes, absolutely.
And it was like, oh,
Stephanie, yeah.
she had it. There's
was
no way
incredible.
my family could ever afford something like that.
That was so fancy.
It was so fancy, and I loved playing with it, so I go over all the time. And we had this very, like, we were very close with that family, and so those kids would be in our house, and we'd be in their house, and we just kind of like were like raised together. And so one day, our neighbors like went out for like brunch, and I was still playing with the dollhouse, and I guess I was just like blissfully unaware that
In your own little world.
in my own little world that they were all gone, locked up, and left. And then all of a sudden, my mom cannot find me, and like hysterically, because we also lived next to the cemetery, so my mom was like convinced that some creep like took me from the cemetery.
God.
So she was like hysterical. She's like calling. My dad came home from work, and they're out with my brother, who's like, I don't care. And like,
Good riddance.
I'm my only child again.
Sweet.
And they're like calling, and they get the rest of the neighbors involved. My mom is on the phone with Anne, who is the mom. I don't want to use their last name.
Yeah.
So that family who's like house Simon, they like, I remember hearing the tires like, like come in, and, you know, and she's like, and not my mom, but like, I guess my second mom basically is like, comes in, is hysterically crying. And they're like, I don't know, Teresa, we'll find her. Let's call the cops right now. They're like getting on the phone with 911. They turn the corner, and there I am with like my little Playmobiles. And they're like, what the
Totally
fuck?
unaware.
Like, so unaware. And they like couldn't even explain to me like how they were hysterical. I would have been too.
I bet.
They were absolutely hysterical. My mom was like, I was on the phone with 911, and then I was like, we found her, and just hung up. And she's like, I was like in shock. And they I guess I just kept playing, and my mom and Anne just cried. And I was just like, boop, 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 boop.
Kristen, that's autism.
Oh, man. It was a great plan.
Being in your own little world, so unaware.
Well, maybe I should have got my own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Buy me my own playhouse.
They could have kept you busy forever.
Forever. I would have, it was
float
so
away
great.
into that thing. Lose yourself in the Playmobil dollhouse.
Yeah, so that was...
I
was Bernie the dog.
You are Bernie the dog.
And they were like, we thought you were gone. And I was like, I've been here. I thought it was like 5 minutes. It was like 4 hours.
Oh my God. You really just lost yourself.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's like, I am so upset and I'm so happy to see you, but God, I'm so mad at you.
Oh my God, I can't imagine raising me, but...
Same.
Little
doofus.
Yeah, it's just a doof, yeah.
Yeah, total doof.
Just being a Bernie.
Yep.
Just love that dollhouse.
Yep. Aw, sweet little Bernie.
Yeah.
All right, well, since we've already taken up a bunch of time with stuff that we didn't plan, even though we already had too much planned, like always, one day we'll learn, but maybe not. Let's save Enya's funny pizza secret for the next time we do Just Segs, because I feel like it's a good one, and I want to save it. And for now, why don't we just end on your Matilda update from Finland?
Yeah. So I forget what episode it was, and I forget how we even got, I think it was our last Bagel Bite.
Yeah, I think
Matilda
it was too.
said, like, one of our listeners, Matilda, thank you, said, like, hi from Finland or something.
Yeah.
And then we started talking about Finland.
Oh, she gave us that big donation.
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
she?
There we go. Thank you.
There it is.
And then, so...
Previously on the Bagel Bite.
Last Bagel Bite. So we were talking about Finland, and then so I posted a poll and just tagged Matilda in it saying, like, how's Finland?
Tell us how Finland
Yeah.
is.
And boy, did she deliver. She says, so the question is, what's it like in Finland? And she said, thank you for asking. It should be great here. According to the World Happiness Ranking, we're the happiest country for 6 years in a row, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
And we absolutely hate it. Nothing upsets a Finn more than being voted as the happiest country in the world besides losing to Sweden in an ice hockey or Eurovision Song Contest.
I had no idea they hated
She said,
that.
this year, we, the people's choice, were robbed. And I feel like I'm so removed from the situation because obviously America does not partake in Eurovision, but
Yes.
I feel it. I feel the rage, and I support you, Matilda.
Eurovision is something that I want to be into and like watch,
Yeah.
but I don't. But I think it seems fun. But yeah, we're too far away.
I feel so. Here's my other question. I feel like I don't want to like intrude.
That's a statement.
Yes. Is it okay as an American to watch Eurovision?
Yeah, I think it's
without
okay.
like
without us being like colonizers.
yeah.
I think we just watch it and we root for Finland, I guess.
Okay.
Team Matilda.
Yeah, we're Team Matilda. Okay,
Team
next
Finland.
year.
All right.
Just let me know when it is.
Sorry, listeners from other countries,
Yep.
but Matilda called it first.
Yep. So we're Team Finland.
we support Finland.
And fucking Sweden.
Yeah, fuck you, Sweden.
Yeah. So she says we're one of these in quotes scary socialist countries, which I think is funny. Where we pay a bit higher in taxes and in turn have a free child care education, also on free education, also on a university level, and healthcare, which is great. Wouldn't that be great?
I know, it's so weird that they have like this evil socialism, but then they're the happiest country.
Yeah.
It's almost like there's a correlation.
Almost.
And it's almost like capitalism wants you to believe that socialism is bad because capitalism benefits from that and sucks all our souls out.
Yes, I agreed. Nature here is beautiful and clean, and we're called the country of 1,000 lakes. There are 168,000 of them. Holy moly.
That's a lot of lakes
That
for
is
such
a
a small
lot.
country,
That is-
especially.
yeah. You can basically go camping or foraging everywhere thanks to every man's rights, which I have to look up later. We also have the world's best tap water that is safe to drink everywhere. And Santa Claus lives in the Finnish Lapland. So not only do they have socialism
Yep.
and free healthcare and education.
Yeah.
They have Santa Claus.
Yeah, but is it like the racist Sinterklaas or whatever? There's like super racist. I think that's in the Netherlands.
I
But
don't know.
It might be in Finland too. I know that a lot of those countries are not amazing for people of color. But Matilda, let us know about that. Let us know about the race relations of Finland. Because I feel like when we talk about like, oh, this is the best place to live, this is the happiest country, it's always like asterisks like for white people. So I think it's also important that we like keep that in mind. But anyways.
Yeah, she's got more. There's more. So she says, other things that are worth mentioning. We organized the world's biggest orienteer relay race, which I don't know what that is, but that sounds fun. It's called and I'm going to say this wrong, but I'm going to try my darndest, Jukola relay. We organize other very important competitions like the wife carrying contest and the air guitar world championship.
What?
I know!
That sounds great.
It sounds so great.
I know they do one of those wife carries at Sugarloaf, I think it is.
Oh, yeah. I think it's pretty great here. Most of the time, at least, the darkness in winter is a bit much, but well compensated by the white nights during the summertime. Don't just take my word for it. Go come for a visit. And then she said, I know. First of all, yes, we got to go.
We'll be there. Clear out a guest room.
Yeah. Save us some fish.
Ooh.
Don't they eat the fish?
I think they eat the fish.
I think they eat the fish. And then she goes, tiny mistake to correct. The childcare is not free. The fee depends on the family's income. And I just want to say, right now, the euro is, because she's going to put in numbers, the euro is almost equivalent to the dollar. It's almost a 1-to-1 ratio right now.
Okay.
You don't have kids, I don't have kids, but I think per month, it's about, in the US, I would say, depending on where you go, like $700 per kid.
Per month? Oh, I was going to say more than that.
Probably more than that.
Yeah. I was going to say a few thousand.
A few thousand per kid.
For some people, it's like not even worth it to work because
that's
their
what my brother
hourly
did.
wage is
They
the
were
same
going
as
to put their
daycare.
3 kids in daycare, and then they were like, actually, what if just one of us doesn't work?
Yeah.
So it's over $1,000. We both agree per one
Yes.
kid as 2 childless women.
Yeah. Well, I worked at a preschool, so there's that.
Okay. So she says it depends on the family's income and the number of children they have in daycare. The minimum fee charged is 28 euros a month. A month.
I knew you were going to say something like that.
It's like Netflix, basically. And the maximum is 295 euros a month.
Oh my god.
If you have more children, the fees for the others drop notably. She says it's almost free. And it is almost free.
Oh
Are you
my
kidding
God.
me?
That's incredible.
It's insane. That's insane.
And it should just be like, that should just be standard stuff. Like, I'm sure they're just like, yeah, Of course.
Of course you
whereas
can-
we're like, oh my God.
Right.
Mind blown. It's like when they talk about how like all they have to pay for in college is like the books.
Which is, I can't even.
Even then, our
It
books
just
are like
makes me
hundreds of
so
dollars.
angry. Like, I don't even know. Like, I know how we got to this place, but like, it's so expensive here. And
It's so bad for almost everyone.
everyone involved except for like the billionaires.
uber wealthy.
It's not good to like have education be this expensive, to have childcare. And I know in some countries there's something about like maternity. I'd be interested to see like what maternity leave is in Finland, and what you get for like paid time off and sick leave and stuff like that, compared to what is mandated here in the US, which right now there's no
none.
federally mandated maternity leave
Or sick leave.
Yep. It makes me want to vomit. It's so uncalled for. Like, it's like approaching slave labor is what it is.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's really bad. But on that note,
What a fun ride.
what a
this has
fun
been.
ride. I'm still fired up about the 4th of July.
I know, I'm
can't.
sorry.
I
It really got you going.
I know.
I knew it would turn into that, too.
Oh man. I'm like, rein it in. We don't want to talk politics, but here we are.
Not everyone was freed on the 4th of July.
Exactly. Matilda, thank you very much for writing in. Very much appreciate it. And it is really interesting to see how your wonderful country of Finland is so drastically different to this shithole that we call America.
Yeah. And if you live in other countries that are great, send us an email and let us know why it's great and why it's better than here.
Yeah. I think this is fascinating. We should compare and contrast countries all the time.
Yeah, because I feel like we're just kind of bombarded with America's number one propaganda
it's
our whole
a very
lives.
like America-centric, like, we're number one.
Because we're a cult and we've all been brainwashed.
Yeah. But like, it sounds like there are plenty of better options.
Like all of them.
Like almost a lot of
almost
them.
all of
A
them.
lot of them.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for Matilda for writing in and giving us all an update on Finland. It sounds lovely, and I would love to visit. Grace, we gotta go.
I would love to go.
I'm
Please.
an international traveler now, so I can
Yeah, you are.
show you my tips, which
Oh. Kristen's tips. Tip number 1, get to the airport 5 hours early.
Yep. Tip number 2, don't cry.
Yep.
Don't do it.
But you're gonna.
You're gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And with that long ass bagel bite, we should probably end it here. Probably should have ended it.
Probably should have ended
10,
it
15
ages
minutes ago.
Yeah.
I might have to cut some of that stuff out.
That's
but
okay.
Maybe not.
You could probably cut my story out.
No, I might cut out like the part where I talk about eye contact for no reason. I
think
always
it would-
feel I always feel bad when I say something wrong and I just like want to correct it as soon as possible because I hate people misunderstanding me.
Mhm.
But that's my own issue to work on.
I think it will be corrected in a later episode.
Yeah.
Just like hold on to that sound bit
You're right.
and write it in a different episode.
You're right. All right. I'm cutting it out. You guys don't even know what we're talking about.
Don't even know.
All right. This has been
You
Weirds of
don't even
a
know.
Feather.
It's been Weirds of a Feather.
We flock together.
It's not our song, but
No.
it's okay. Thanks for listening. If you liked this, great.
What's going on? Yeah.
You can email us at weirdsofeather@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us. There's the Facebook group, and everybody's super nice and precious there. 10 out of 10. Check it out.
Yeah.
And if you're like, man, how do I keep this horse train going? You can donate to us at KOFI.
No,
Damn it, I
KO-FI.com
forgot the dash.
/weirdsofafeather. And you can like buy us a proverbial coffee, aka donate a little bit to our sound editing. And that will just help us get sound editing, which we have. It's going.
It's getting there.
We're doing it.
We're in a foam room.
We are in a foam room. Big things are happening.
Big things.
Stuff's moving.
We've got a guy.
So before you know it, we'll have Patreon content, and then you'll get some extra content for your donations.
That's our ultimate goal.
Yes. So thank you guys for helping us get to that point. It really has been such a help. You know, any amount has been like so helpful. So thank you guys so much for your support.
Obviously, pay your bills first. Get yourself settled.
Yes. You don't need to do that. You don't need to put us down. Yeah, and that's it, right? Yeah. We said all the things?
I said all my things.
I said all my things.
That's great.
Well, I always got more to say, but for now, that's enough things.
Yeah.
Let's squawk on out of here.
All right.
Both had that thought. I was like, I'm gonna interrupt with a bird call.
They like hit my mic.
Yeah.
Ah! It's a loon ghost.
Haunting the lake.